Welcome back, boxing fans, to another great show with Sean on Boxing. These PBC fanatics are fucking mental. Literally mental. The PBC literally did 5 cards in 2024. 5. It was a abysmal year, right? Abysmal. Then they lose Canelo Alvarez. So now all they have is David Benavidez and Tank Davis. David, who doesn't sell. Tank Davis, that does okay. And then who else do you have? They're so desperate that they're trying to bring out fucking old refugee fighters like Spence, the two Charlos, fucking Manny Pacquiao. Because they're scraping literally the bottom of the fucking barrel. Because they don't have anybody else to fucking showcase on their platform. Right? But they still want to make it seem as if they're running boxing and use this to criticize everybody else. Like Turki Al-Sheikh, he could do whatever he wants. He got that much money where he could be putting out supercard after supercard. But these fucking fanatical PBC dudes wouldn't talk about it, would diss on it, wouldn't watch it, wouldn't pay for it, right? They do what they consistently have done. Show that they're not boxing fans. They're literally fucking fanboys. Like, this is the biggest advertisement for fucking fanboyism, right? Where you can only watch boxing when it's under one platform. And you literally need to disregard and criticize everything else. In 2023, when the PBC had a great year, I was praising the PBC for having a great year. Making Fulton and Newey, Bud Crawford versus Spence, right? When people are putting on great cards like that, you're going to fucking shout out and give them praise for doing exactly what you want boxing promoters to do. Then in 2024, they literally did nothing. It was a terrible year for them. It was a transition year, obviously, coming from Showtime to, Amazon. And now it looks like they're losing their contract with Amazon. So God only knows what they're going to be doing in the future. But we're going to criticize Turki, who literally is putting on a Canelo Alvarez, Bud Crawford fight on Netflix. You know who this is really going to piss off? Floyd Mayweather fans. Because all this cap that they used for years about Floyd Mayweather being the biggest seller, the biggest pay-per-view star, that shit's fucking disappearing fast now. Soon Canelo Alvarez is going to be far above Floyd Mayweather for most money made and most fucking sold fucking events. This Netflix shit is going to put up numbers that we've only seen when Muhammad Ali was fighting Frazier or Foreman. When you're putting up huge fucking numbers. Astronomical. That's what it's going to do. If you think Tyson and Jake Paul did good numbers, this is going to do something in the same range. Maybe even more. Obviously, Tyson got tons of fucking, street cred. So regardless of how old he is, right? We saw his Roy Jones fight also did very good numbers as well. And we know Jake Paul brings in a whole different demographic. So the combination of those two, it's no doubt that they did great. But Canelo Alvarez, Bud Crawford, this shit should do dynamite numbers. Unbelievable numbers. And just think about what a coup this is for boxing as a whole. To be on Netflix. Another dominant fucking app. A huge platform, free, boxing free. So casual fans, real regular sports people that don't necessarily follow boxing are all going to get the chance to jump on this shit. Because I think they said 300 to 400 million people live. 300 to 400 million people globally are subscribed to Netflix. So that's a huge platform, especially with free boxing. I'm super excited. I'm stoked, right? I hope they put a great undercard on this so they give other people a lot of shine and a lot of fucking opportunity, right? I think it's funny because this year, the biggest fight cards that were put on were no doubt, were 100% Turki Al-Sheikh. Did they necessarily all sell well? Did they all necessarily turn out well? No. But that's not a reflection on him. He's putting out great cards, making great fights. If boxing fans are so fucking retarded that they can't really support great boxing, I mean, what can you do? This is just how people are today. People are fucking morons, dumbasses, idiots. Like that huge fucking super card they put on, that shit was dynamite. One of the best cards in boxing history. Better Biev and Bivol. Sure, they didn't have the kind of names that really resonated in America. But then again, fucking Americans' audience is so fucking, who even knows what to expect from them, right? And then you had that other card, obviously from New York. It was a great idea, a great concept. It would have been bigger and better if they could have just closed down that whole street, put it in the middle, and opened that shit right up and fucking blocked off all fucking traffic, right? But unfortunately, they weren't able to go that big. You know, New York, fucking laws, regulations, people making it difficult. But the fights themselves were great matchups. Did they turn out to be great? No. Very disappointing. But you can't blame Turki Al-Sheikh for giving boxing fans exactly what they wanted. They love these dudes, right? And so he gave them those guys in great matchups and fights that were leading to something even better. Did it turn out that way? No, because that's sports. Sports is real life drama. You never know how it's going to unfold. You never know how it's going to turn out. That's why it's great. Because literally anything could fucking happen. Just ask Caleb Plant about that. Right? Perfect example. Similar example. You want to shit on that because obviously the Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney fight's not coming through. But the Charlo fucking Plant fight ain't coming through either. Why? Well, because Ryan Garcia lost. Why? Because Caleb Plant lost. Sometimes the best plans don't necessarily unfold and don't work out. But let's be fucking honest. Plant versus Charlo was never going to do the kind of numbers that Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney was going to do. Never. Because it's not that big of a fight. It ain't that interesting. The fact that it's gone, people barely fucking care. Barely care. It ain't like we feel like we missed out much. And people kind of feel the same way with Mikey Garcia and Haney. Just because of all the bullshit and drama and it's just the ugliness around all of that shit, right? The way people want to turn this into, you know, something that just is messy, dirty, just not marketable, and not something people can really support full-heartedly. But this is not comparing Turki Al-Sheikh versus PBC, because it doesn't need to be like that. I don't fanboy for Turki Al-Sheikh or Eddie Hearn or Bob Arum or Oscar De La Hoya or Mr. Honda or fucking Al Heyman. I don't really fucking care. When Manny Pacquiao went over to the PBC, you didn't see me moaning and groaning, threatening to fucking boycott his fights, talking about how he's a sellout because he crossed over from Top Rank to PBC. You didn't see me shitting on Canelo Alvarez because he left fucking Matchroom to Zone to go over to the PBC. Not once, but twice. Because I don't care who promotes fighters. I care that we get great fights. Unfortunately, for the majority of the PBC's existence, they haven't done that regularly. They've been giving us fights that we never wanted, we didn't fucking ask for, shoving pay-per-views down our throats for garbage-ass fights, showcase fights, a lot of them, and acting like we should want it, we should respect it, we should say thank you for getting it. But unfortunately, why am I going to say thank you for some garbage-ass fight I never even fucking wanted? I'm a Pacquiao fan, but Pacquiao versus Mario Barros, who fucking needs that shit? Nobody. Tim Tszyu versus Funduro, I don't mind either fighter. But who needs that garbage-ass fight? Tim Tszyu just got knocked out by fucking Murtazaliev, the IBF champion. Why isn't Funduro fighting him for unification? He literally dropped his WBO title to duck the Puerto Rican fucking contender. Literally ducked an undefeated up-and-coming fighter to go fight a dude that fucking just got beat twice. One of the beatings was literally that, a fucking ass-kicking, a literally beating. But coming off of that ass beating, he's going to get a world title fight because somehow people care about that fight. They don't care. This is just the PBC doing what the PBC does. right? And then you go to channels like Knockout Boxing and fucking Fannin and Ego and others, and it's just like the cap for the PBC is fucking cringeworthy, literally, right? They always talk about how they don't really like certain fighters because of how much fucking fanboyism and hype goes behind people. But that's exactly what these guys do to fucking Al Heyman and the PBC. They've never seen Al Heyman, they've never heard him talk, but they're fucking willing to give up their first child to support him, nonetheless. That's how cringe these fucking dudes are. Cringe. They act like Al Heyman is the first black promoter in the sport of boxing, right? And there's never been and there never will be any other black promoters. It's like, what's wrong with you guys? Are you touched? Were you dropped on your head as children? Was your mom fucking drinking or smoking the pipe? Like, literally, what the fuck is going on with you guys?